Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, March 15th, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 2023. Turkey experiencing deadly flooding in the regions where 50,000 were killed with earthquakes just weeks ago. But the big story, nearly 200,000 customers without power in the Northeast as strong winds from a departing nor'easter linger in the region. Keep calm, it's boom time. Take a look at that snowblower. Holy macaroni. Parts of the Northeast are buried. Up to 3 feet of snow and hundreds of thousands without power lingering on Wednesday over New England. Take a look. And at the same time, 100,000 Californians still have no power as storms whip hurricane-force winds, flood homes, and threaten 25 million people in other states. Well, the good news is that they've gotten some of that power back on. The Northeast, just about 30, 40, 50,000, maybe 60,000 without power. And California down to 121,000. Now, the bad news. Another atmospheric river is heading for California next week, and it's likely to impact Metro LA. We'll have the full forecast in a moment, but this is what the reservoirs in California look like today. Hey, hey. So clearly, with more rain coming, no one is bumming, especially the fact that most of the drought in California has been knocked out. Take a look at U.S. Drought Monitor for March 9th, and most of the drought in California, well, is completely eliminated. The big winter chicken dinner here in Nebraska is in the high plains. That is the only region that have large portion in severe and extreme drought. Most of California is, well, in relief, almost a 50% drought relief in California. As the first nor'easter of the season dumps heavy snow and cuts off power to hundreds of thousands across the Northeast like a beast, let's take a look at it from GOES 16. It zoomed into the lightning strikes of the nor'easter, which has a name, but it's escaping me. Just a powerful storm here. In the visible band, this is from GOES 16 satellite, and you can see it moving offshore of Massachusetts. Boom, boom, boom. Fantastic and powerful spectacle of Mother Nature. Now let's take a look at the snowfall totals from the snowfall analysis from the National Weather Service, and it's epic in the Northeast over the last 48 hours. A large swath of 3 feet there, right at the bullseye, southern Vermont. Big winter chicken dinner, as well as western Massachusetts. We also have huge totals in the southern Sierras. Hello! As well as big snow, ho, 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 2 to 3 feet in Idaho. Who knew? Now you do. Winter storm watch is issued for central Minnesota as the spring storm is coming and nobody's bumming. Well, when will spring come to your region, or has it already shown up? This is a great graphic here showing that the entire West Coast is up to 20 days late for spring, ding, ding, and the entire eastern, well, southeastern portion of the U.S. is a little early. The more green you get, the earlier you are, and the pinker or maroon is late. So really marked difference from the southeast and the west, which is the best. Winter storm to develop over the central U.S. Severe thunderstorms and flooding in the south. Heavy mountain snow and gusty winds over the Sierras today will shift to the central and northern Rockies. Locally, heavy rain may produce isolated flooding over parts of Arizona. A winter storm is expected to bring widespread and heavy snowfall and strong winds to the upper Midwest, and Great Lakes Thursday and Friday, while the southern U.S. is going to be freezing its off. Well, actually, the southern U.S. will see severe thunderstorms and flooding is possible. Let's take a look at the forecast. It's been raining out here for about 6 hours. It's just turning to snow. And we have about 5 or 6 continuous days of precipitation forecast here with snow, spring snow, ho, 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 every day. Most of the snowpack has melted in the valley, but the snow is piling up high on the Continental Divide. And, well, big winter chicken dinner, Four Corners is there it is. That's that system moving through now. Snow in the high mountains. And that threat for severe weather is going to develop here Thursday night into Friday morning as it moves across the southeast, Louisiana, East Texas, Alabama, and then Georgia as that severe threat moves into northern Florida here Saturday and into the weekend. Let's take a look at the snowfall totals with the current newest update, the GFS model. All the people claiming there was going to be a big nor'easter this week, well, that just got crushed in the latest model run. Here you can see the heavy snow piling up in the Four Corners region outside my door. Could be 2 feet or more as the system moves through the northern plains. Not a lot of snow coming out of this, maybe 6 inches at the max. But Canada is going to be the big winter chicken dinner here. A little bit more snow in the northeast. As the models show, the west is going to be picking up most of the snow through the end of March. More snow, 4 to 8 feet for the Sierras. Not looking good. Let's take a look back at when the next... there it is. The next atmospheric river is going to hit. That's Monday, March 20th. That's just 5 days from now. It's going to hit the northern portions and then move south a little. Take a look at that. So next atmospheric river, followed by another one just 2 days later, could be a lineup for extreme flooding in California. Hello. Now let's take a look at some of this amazing footage. An earthquake hit Turkey, suffering deadly flooding now, at least 14 killed, and I'm sure those numbers have skyrocketed. This article is at least 12 hours old. Shocking videos coming as a man, take a look, is flowing through the streets. That is a dude right there. Absolutely crazy. Now they claim this is the earthquake-stricken region, but I can't see any collapsed buildings. So that leads me pause, but it might be nearby. You can see massive flooding happening on the rivers here in Turkey as cars are being destroyed and more homes and lives. Here we see some frogmen, divers, looking for bodies in Turkey. And our hearts and prayers go out to the people there. But it appears as if it's not in the hardest hit areas from the earthquake, but maybe on the outskirts. Seismic update. No quakes of note except an interesting rumbler in Tennessee kicking off just, well, moments ago. A few aftershocks in Turkey, nothing spectacular, 4.2. Who knew? Now you do. Worldwide volcano news update. Nothing spectacular to report on the volcano front. Popo puffing and passing. Here we have Swanosima to 7,000, Santa Juito 15,000, Reventador 16,000, Nevados de Ruiz 24,000, Sabancaya, 25,000, Popo to 20, and a really nice picture here of Villarrica in central Chile. Activity continues at reduced levels, and amazing photography coming from the volcano. Space weather news, the sun has been quiet now for a week. What a tweak. Let's look at the latest HMI intensity as the sunspots go away. Now, there is a large sunspot region on the backside that produced a halo CME, which was not geo-effective in any way, except for a small proton storm that's been kicked off here. And look at this. This looks like solar minimum. But nobody's talking about it except me. Now, we have been in low-level geomagnetic storm KP 5.5 twice in the last 24 hours, and then again just now. So there may be some low-level aurora up in the northern portions of Canada through the night. So get out and look up if you can. But nothing more spectacular than that is predicted for a very long time as the sun goes quiet, as predicted. Now, a UCLA engineer designs a solar roof that's semi-transparent and photovoltaic. So it's not only harvesting energy from the sun, but it's also harvesting food from the crop. Here is the paper. All links will be below to everything we talk about achieving sustainability of greenhouses by integrating stable, semi-transparent, organic photovoltaics. Now, here's the problem. Semi-transparent organic photovoltaics have been breaking down in all the studies. They don't last that long. They're not as resilient as, let's say, the normal solar panel. But this is a big breakthrough. A huge breakthrough where they were able to stabilize the material. Organic materials are uniquely suitable for agrovoltaics because of their light absorption and selectivity. So you can let the light you need in to grow the crops and keep the light out that you need. But the problem is that these cells have broken down in the past. But according to the new study, the semi-transparent OPVs demonstrate power conversion efficiency of 13.5% and an average visible transmittance of 21.5%, with remarkable operational stability, 84.8% retention after 1,008 hours. This is under continuous illumination, almost 5 or 10 times more than the last iteration of this photovoltaic material. So, big breakthroughs coming in, and it's similar to the material, the rigid material we use in our greenhouses that diffuse the light, remove the dangerous portions, diffuse it in a way that there's no shadows, and give you better growth. A new word for the vocabulary: scientists warn of Phosphogeddon as critical fertilizer shortage looms. So what's going on is the NPK is being used less and there's more access to phosphorus because of the supply chain shortage, but that's not good news. The overuse of phosphorus is creating algal blooms, such as the one in the Baltic Sea here near Stockholm in Sweden. Excessive use of phosphorus is depleting reserves vital to global food production while also adding to the climate crisis, which is not a climate crisis, it's a pollution crisis. So the fearmongers on the mainstream media need to get their narrative correct and their vocabulary correct. There is no crisis with climate. I dare you to go back to the Younger Dryas event and live during those times. But there is a crisis with pollution, and they are muddying the waters with their nonsense. Now, if you need a couple bucks, a contest has been launched to decipher Herculaneum scrolls using 3D X-ray software. Global research teams who can improve AI and accelerate the decoding of these tiny little Herculaneum scrolls could win $250,000 in prizes. Yes. And I didn't need to register a moment ago to actually read the article, which was probably a sharticle anyway. So moving on, Milky Way stars found nearly halfway to the Andromeda Galaxy. Holy macaroni. The results suggest that there may not be as much empty space between the Milky Way and Andromeda as you might think, or as the standard model suggests. In fact, there's an inner halo and an outer halo, and even a thin disk that moves far away from the Milky Way than ever has been thought. The Milky Way's outer halo is expected to span out some 1 million light years from the core of the galaxy. And a few newfound stars are living right at the theoretical outskirts of this outer halo, 1 million light years away from our galaxy. Well, are they part of the galaxy? What say you? Fascinating archaeology. The world's oldest masks, modeled on early farmers, are extremely creepy. Let's take a look at some. This limestone mask was reconstructed from 12 fragments that archaeologists found in the Nahum Hemar cave. And it is creepy. And here we can even see a ceremonial costume disguise a member of a modern ancestor cult in Western Africa is wearing looks very similar to the mask. And there are more creepy masks. With a height of 11.6 inches or 29.5 centimeters, the chalk mask at the left is the largest of the group. The The bags beneath the eyes of the limestone mask at the right may have been meant to suggest advanced age. Absolutely creepy. And then there's these. The famed Israeli general Moshe Dayan bought this mask after a farmer's plow uncovered it in a field near Horvat Dama. And these masks are posited to be 9,000 years old, are all created from single pieces of stone. So it is pre-pottery, Neolithic. And well, they look just like Jason. Kill. In my opinion. Swiss regulators offer financial lifeline to Credit Suisse after the bank tanks starting on March 15th in a big way down to almost $2 a share, popped back up today and then tanked again. Credit Suisse is the next bank in a cacophony of banks to topple as we enter the domino effect and the toppling and the end of the empire, one bank at a time. This is to usher in the new, digital currency that will track every single transaction and everything you do. Who knew? Well, now you do. And that's a boom to knowledge. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. Share this video. We're shadow banned, so only subscribers can see our updates. And we need to grow. We love you. Be safe.